always be bigger, Lowery.
I'm going to be honest. I know what you're working with, and I can't help you.
Welcome, CommanderSmiths.
We are the CommanderSmiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowery Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
This is episode 154. And why don't we just get right to it? What the hell are we doing today, Larry? What are we doing?
I don't know. You kind of sprung that on me. What are we doing?
I've been drinking, so I don't know what we're doing.
Are you drunk? We're going to do a top 10 commander cards for the set of Keldheim.
Top 10 commander cards.
You'll be trying to stump the savant that I am.
The savant that got, what did you get last week? It was like a 55.
Wait,
actually,
you humbling me?
55, our 2 hour long episode, 50, 65, and a 50. So you got to do better this week. I think you're going to. I made some easy ones this week.
Oh, thanks.
I said that last week, and then that happened.
Yep. And then one spec for Commander 19.
This one's interesting. I have some thoughts on this.
There's some very good cards in the set, and I would not spec on some of them because they're really expensive.
Right. Let's just say I didn't go deep with anything that I picked.
Did you? How many Dockside Extortionists did you pick in the last week?
Right.
Because that's a $50+ card.
Yeah, that's the only card that's there, and then it just.
And we just had half the people go, "What?
Yeah.
Dockside's that much?"
One thing I do want to kind of dabble in is something that we've been discussing a little bit. This is kind of off the cuff here, but fucking reserve list cards are going crazy, like absolute bonkers right now.
Bonkers.
Like I was going through so if you guys don't know, our early episodes, first 10, 15 episodes, it was probably even the second or third episode, wasn't it?
It was our second and third episode.
Talked about reserve list cards.
We just did straight reserve list cards.
I think we got some comments of people that the 5 listeners we had at the time was just like, I don't think you guys should be talking reserve list stuff. Well, those cards are now, we got for less than $1 are now like 20, 15, 30, $40. Like it's just all over the place.
Griffin Canyon for $1.
now
it's 20.
So ridiculous. Because you spec'd on that. That was your pick. And I picked up a whole bunch of them because I was like,
you got more than me. I think I only picked up like 3 or 4.
But I was like, yeah, Larry's right. If it's a reserve list cards or reserve list card, and when they print more Griffins, have a Griffin set. Which when is that going to happen? But when that happens,
Mirage
going to go
season
crazy.
2.
Instead, what's happening? I don't know. I think it's stimulus checks. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
I think it just kind of happens in January, February of every year. It happened when we started.
Yeah, it didn't really happen last year. It happened this summer though.
It was like March, April-ish when things were kind of starting going.
Which is when stimulus checks were coming out. Actually,
no, stimulus
like April,
check didn't
May.
happen until
But no, that I remember I said that May this summer, and not only mine, but my eBay stuff, but I know Fast Finance has said that this summer was the most they've sold in a long time, and now it's happening again. Right now it's happening. All my stuff is just going. It's just, I don't know. It's crazy. So
was it AJ that was like, or maybe it was Ted. It was just like, it's speculating on cards before you're speculating on getting the stimulus check.
No, but then AJ did the tax part. So Ted did the first part, and then AJ's like speculating on your tax returns. So if you guys listen to our first...
If you get a stimulus, just put it towards your debt. That's what I would say.
Buy more cards.
Yes.
buy that underground sea that you don't have, right, Lowery?
Or pay off the bills that you need to pay.
Right, there you go. Then spend it on cards.
Don't buy magic cards.
But I was going to say is if you are one of the few listeners, which I wonder how many listeners we actually have that have listened all the way back from the very beginning. Maybe 1, maybe 2. But if you're one of the ones
I know Jaw's gone all the way back.
Oh, I guess if you really think about it, how many do you think we have that are started with us? Started with that first month.
If somebody has started within that first month 2 Februaries ago.
Shoot us a message just so we know that you have. I know there's a bunch of people that have gone back, but just to know that somebody was like, "Hey, I
randomly
like this
found
dumb
us."
shit.
And they stuck through our dick jokes for this long.
It's pretty sticky. Yeah.
Gross.
All right. So got a big episode, top 10. We're not going to go 2 hours long this week. Hopefully we'll see how that goes.
Talking with cousin-in-law Mark, and he was like, yeah, I saw last week's was 2 hours and I put it on double speed to see how it went. And he was like, yeah, you guys are still going. You guys are good. So
nice.
So thank you for listening at least double speed.
Double speed, chipmunk speed. That's got to be interesting. What are you drinking?
Are you drinking anything, or are you drunk?
I'm drinking what I tweeted out, and what I put on the Discord is my Malibu Black, and this is like my.
That was from last night. You're still drinking that?
Well, I had it again tonight. That's all we had, and we got a snowstorm, kind of snow fluff going on. So I just went and got some Diet Coke, and I know that's not good for gout toe, but here's me crossing my fingers that I don't get it, because this is good taste. And what are you drinking?
I am drinking a fruited goose. It's a cranberry and pomegranate, 5.2%. I think it's from Shakopee Brew Hall in Minnesota here.
Is it
fruited
goose, did you say, or goose?
Well, it's a goose.
What's a goose?
It's like a goose. It's its own. It's like a lager.
Okay.
It's just a different specific type of beer.
I've never heard of goose before, so I just thought you were trying to say.
Gose.
I thought you were trying to say goose, and you just went with goose.
Well, this one's I think called Duck Duck, but then it has a peacock, so I'm not sure if it's Duck Duck Peacock or just Duck Duck Cock.
Why is it?
Yeah,
Duck Duck Gray Duck. Where is the gray duck?
I think it's I don't know.
Or is it supposed to be a Duck Duck Goose?
I think it's a peacock.
Really?
Maybe they're doing something about the Como Zoo from 20 years ago. I don't know.
Oh, well, we just got
but
done.
It's good. It's good.
We just got done playing what? Some League? And I kicked your butt.
Yeah.
I kicked your butt. No, I'm just kidding.
You didn't kick my butt. You destroyed all of your own land.
I did.
And you still won, but
I did. I didn't realize I was doing that. I was destroying your board, and I was like, all right, board wipe Lowery. And then you're like, oh, your indestructible land from your Kodama's will. Not Kodama's.
Yeah.
It's the green one.
Kamal's will.
Kamal's will. You're like, well, those 1/1s are no longer 1/1s because you just killed them because they got -3, -3. And I was like, fuck. Tap them all out. Cast everything in my hand, and then hopefully you don't get something good. I think if I hadn't have destroyed your vigilance haste thing, I could have been in deep trouble. Maybe.
I mean, you still had it.
Yeah.
Oh, it would have had vigilance, though. Yeah.
Well, no, because then I destroyed it the next turn, and whatever. Yeah. Fun league games, Battle Box League. We're kind of winding down the last season. We're going to jump into. Why don't I just talk about that? You guys can join our next Battle Box League if you want. You can become a patron if you do $1 or more. We do the Battle Box League. We're going to do it for Kaldheim.
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 You say it however you want. People know what's coming.
So we're doing set boosters with this one instead of just the draft packs. So,
but you can do draft packs if you want as well.
You definitely can. But you can go all the way up to set boosters. Is how we're doing it. $1 just gets you to be able to play that. We're gonna do a little different. That when that season or that set starts, we're gonna have a set day for it. For people to play, and then you can play if you want, not on that day, but we're going to kind of dedicate a day so we can kind of get regular playing going. Speaking of patron, we have 2 new patrons today, so I'm kind of jumping back and forth.
Hey, no, that's a great segue.
Yeah. So who are new patrons? Do you have it written down, or did I?
Of course I don't.
Okay, go for it. You don't? So we have Stephen Dempsey and Tyler Coates.
Welcome to the Meat Force.
Good job. I was going to let you get that one.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Meat Force. All right. So those are new patrons this week. $5 or more gets you the proxy of the week. Next month is when we do pick your proxy. So even the dollar people will be able to pick a proxy next month. Anybody that's higher than that, you can pick any proxy that we have done over the last 2 years, I think is when we started posting those. The free way to support the show is go to YouTube. Just jump on there, subscribe. There are videos up. I'm consistently trying to do the proxy of the week. So whatever proxy I'm doing that week. Last week was Wheel of Fortune because our Discord went crazy about showing off our Wheel of Fortunes. Because we're like, hey, it's $1,000. Here's my Wheel of Fortune. It's kind of the equivalent of showing a package. Showing your package is what kind of happened.
Just a bunch of people went, package. Wheel of Fortune is $1,000? What? Yeah. Reserve list has gone crazy.
Yeah. So
it's a little less at this point. It hasn't.
Yeah. What did it drop
I think it's
down
like
to?
800-900, somewhere in
Only
between
there. So yeah, that was that you can jump on there, subscribe to our page. That's all you got to do. That's the free way to support the show. So if you're like, hey, I don't really have the money or I don't want to give them money, but I really like these guys, just jump on YouTube and just subscribe. That's all you got to do. More videos to come. We're going to have spotlight decks coming here in a little bit. Right, Lowery?
Yep. I just got to be able to sleep.
Yeah. That's what happens when you have kids. And then jump on Twitters where you can see the proxy of the week and also see Not Sharing with Adam and where you can see curated MTG. What did we have this week? Did we have one this week?
I'm freezing up.
Oh, no,
I don't remember.
Normally no. Normally we record on a Monday. This week, because we're trying to get you sleep, we were recording right after we got done playing, which is Saturday. So we don't have Lowery's curated card, which is normally on Mondays. So
there will be one on Twitter.
Right.
I got it lined up. I promise.
Hashtag curated MTG. If you want to check those out, you can send us a direct message there, or you can shoot us an email at Gmail, which is CommanderSmiths@gmail. All right. So that is our stuff. We are going to just get to the episode. We're not going to try to do a 2-hour long episode this week. Right? Maybe?
I don't know. I don't think so. I'd like to go to bed. Let's just talk about me wanting to sleep.
All right, so let's just get right to it then. It's time for everyone's favorite game show.
I agree.
Smith Savant.
It's a great game show.
Did you say you agree?
It's a great game show.
It's a great game show. All right. Let me pull up my stuff. All right, so if you don't know how this game works, I will read the flavor text of a card, and Lowery will ask any yes or no questions. I can only answer yes or no. Any no he gets is minus 10 points, starts out with 100. I have clues to give him as well. Every clue I give is minus 5 points, and he's just going to try to guess the card. I'm trying to stump him, so that's how it works. He's the Savant and the Smith, so I'm stumping him. All right, you ready? Let's just get right to it. First card. I think you're going to get these. Okay. You're going to get these, I think, pretty damn quick.
Okay.
All right. Play the song of He Who Delivered Us. Play the song of, I don't know how to say this, of Feroz. And then it's Oneath. No, not Oneath. It's Onea. Anaba Shaman.
You son of a bitch. All right, reread that, please.
Play the song of He Who Delivered Us. Play the song of Faraz. Onea Anaba Shaman.
Is there snow in this set?
No.
I'm pretty sure. So Faraz is an old character. Was this set out printed before Time Spiral?
Yes.
Okay. That is. And there's no snow in this set?
I mean, I have to go through the whole set, but I don't think there's snow.
Is there snow-covered lands? That's the easy part.
Well, god damn it.
Well, I mean, okay, so is it Cold Snap or
No.
Yeah, okay. It's not Ice Age, it's not Cold Snap.
No.
That's fine.
That's why I'm like, I don't think there's snow printed in this, but I haven't gone through every single card in this. I don't know it off. Like if you're going off of the lands, there's no snow. Play the song of He Who Delivered Us. Play the song of Faraz. Anaba Shaman.
Anaba Shaman. Is this Homelands?
It is from Homelands.
What?
I can give you a clue that'll help a lot, or it might give it away a little bit.
Like the only, just let me think of
Okay.
the 3 okay cards from Homelands. You got Merchant Scroll, which is a blue card, which it would be what Faraz would be, I think. Then you have Apocalypse Chime, which destroys all Homeland cards. And then I don't know. Yeah, I'll take a hint.
Music plays a role in this card.
You're a son of a bee. High Tide is Fallen Empire.
Play the song of he who delivered us. Play the song of Faraz.
I wish you weren't drunk. That's it.
I'm not drunk yet. May have a little bit of a buzz, just a little bit.
Play the song.
A song
what?
of that's what I was saying. It has music has a role, so it's kind of like it's not just the words; it's what's happening in the picture.
Another hint.
Is on the reserved list.
Is the card blue?
No.
It's not Baron Senjar. It's not. Hymn to Turok is Fallen Empires. That's crazy when Fallen Empires is just so much better than Homelands. That's just
That's a crazy statement right there.
and they're both not the best. Sing the song of Faraz's yada yada.
Sing the song of He Who Delivered Us. Play the song of Faraz. Or play the song. He said sing. I was just going off what you said. That's what happens when you've been drinking. Play the song of He Who Delivered Us. Play the song of Faraz.
Of Faraz.
Anaba
It's not a blue
Shaman.
card.
No.
It's a song? What? What?
You want me to give you a hint of what the card does?
Sure.
The card brings permanence of a certain type into play.
It doesn't. What?
It
What?
brings them into play from your hand.
I don't think this helps.
Man, I thought that was my fourth clue that I thought would give it away. My third clue isn't going to help you much more, so I might make up a different one to help you out a little bit more.
Because this is before. What can cheat things into play?
It's on the reserve list. It's a card that recently has gone way up. And it's a card that I was talking about tonight when we were playing. That should give it completely away.
I don't remember. That's the problem of not paying attention to you talking. It's. I mean, we talked about a lot of reserve list cards.
There was a certain one that I talked about that I was like, should I even be talking about this? Because I'm good. If we're doing our cast tonight, he's gonna know.
Another hint.
Jumpstart made this card initially spike. Now it's spiking because of reserve list hype.
Oh shit! Didgeridoo.
Yeah.
There we go.
So I was just like, my other one was features what looks like a shaman. And I was like, well, that's not going to help him at all. Unless I go, there's a minotaur on the card.
I should have. I totally, because I know that Anaba Shaman is a minotaur.
Always.
That's how I got Homelands.
Gotcha. All right. That one went really long. I'm going to give you one more. We'll just do two today because we ran out of our bed here. So let's see. Which one do I want to give? Oh, this one's a little bit more fun. All right, so you'll probably get this one quick here. All right. We were chasing Limdul when the ridge in front of us suddenly crumbled. I can't believe it was mere coincidence. All right, so who it's from, this is the longest name I've ever seen, but it's Luclide Fixdaughter, leader of the Order of the White Shield.
So is this from Cold Snap? Or not Cold Snap, Ice Age.
Ice Age, yes.
Yeah, all right. Order of the White Shield. That's a... No, that might be Fallen Empires, but... We were chasing
Limdul when the ridge in front of us suddenly crumbled. I can't believe it was mere coincidence.
So this is Ice Age then?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
Not something stupid like Fallen Empires.
Which is better than Homeland, so...
Is this card an instant?
No.
Damn it. I thought I had an idea. Okay, so it is... Is it a white card?
No, it is not a white card.
Not a white card. It's not a white card, not an instant. It's from Cold Snap.
No, Ice Age.
Ice Age. I don't know why I keep on saying Cold Snap.
They're both cold.
Who's gonna be chasing Order? And it's not a white card. Order
nope.
of the Rawr. This is
that's the Lowery piss. Rawr. You won't like me when I'm angry. And I don't know if I'm saying the name right, but it's it's Lucilde.
Luclid. I don't recognize that, so I don't think it's gonna help me.
You want a clue? This might help you.
Yeah, I'll take a clue.
Card features a pair of eyes. Like when you see this card, you're like, oh, there's eyes there.
It's not a brownie, is it? It seems. Wandering Shambler? Shambling Wanderer? No. A pair of eyes. It's not
We were
Whittago.
chasing Limdul when the ridge in front of us suddenly crumbled. I can't believe it was mere coincidence. You know, that one guy. We'll just call him LK.
Goblin Snowman. Why am I just naming all these bad cards from Ice Age? Another hint.
Is known for its fog-like effect. I thought that would give it away right there.
So is it a
Known
green
for
card?
its fog-like effect.
Is it a green card?
No.
It's not green. It's not white. It's probably not black.
What have we been talking about? This has been one of our specs recently. I'll give you that hint. Because snow was coming. Winter is coming.
Oh, okay. That does help. I see it now. Yeah, glacial crevices.
Yeah, there you go.
Whoa.
Glacial crevasses.
Crevasses. Boy, oh boy.
All right.
This game's getting hard.
I thought it was gonna be easy ones because I was like, oh, we've been talking about these ones. I'm like, he's gonna get these so quick. But I was like, I'll do 3 of them. If he gets them quick, whatever. So all right.
Brutal.
All right. So what are we on now? We are doing our
Top 10 Commander cards.
Love it.
All right. So what we do here is we are going through Kaldheim or Keldheim or however else you want to say that, because I've heard it so many different ways. But anyways, we're taking the top 10 cards we like out of this set, not including legendary, because we did our legendary stuff last week. This is just 10 cards in the set. I should say legendary creatures, because it could be legendary land or planeswalkers and all that. That could be in this list. But we are talking about the top 10 cards, not including the legendary creatures. So, and we have them ranked from 10 to 1. So, Lowery, why don't you kick us off with the... Actually, I should probably do it. Let me kick it off because I don't want to pronounce our number 9. So our number 10 on the list, and it's probably higher for how much use it's going to get, or how much use they're going to get. But we did the DFC lands, so the dual face lands, the flip lands, and the fetch tap lands, the common ones.
The fetchable tap lands.
Yeah. So I think those are all really solid cards. I'm really glad that they have those in the set. Making those at common, that's fine. I mean, those will you use those very much? I don't think I will.
I don't think unless I'm going with a snow theme.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice that they're fetchable and that they're the dual colors. I like the flipping lands, the dual face or whatever.
How about if I would have loved it? Now people could poo-poo me, but instead give me a snow fetch.
What do you mean?
So like a fetch land that goes and gets a snow
finds
land.
A snow. Oh, that would have been sweet. I like that idea.
Right? When are they going to hire me?
Jeez, Lowery, we got to get your name out there.
Yeah. I mean, we got a game called Smith Savant, and I bomb it weekly, so doesn't
Some
help.
weeks your Savant comes out, and if we're recording after midnight, nope.
Nope.
All right, so that's our number 10. We just got that out of the way. It could really be a lot higher on the list because of how much use those will get. Personally, I probably use the flip lands maybe a little bit more than the fetchable snow lands, but I might not even use those. But they're very good budget cards for having dual lands.
Yeah, I think like budget-wise, what do you think is better, the fetchable tri-lands or the double-faced lands?
Ooh, but see, the thing is, you have to be in that 3 color, you know. I like the aspect of being able to, you know, cycle those out, and they are fetchable, you know.
Cycling's kind of expensive though at 3, right?
Yeah, but you still have that option. Whereas, for example, the game we were playing tonight, I had 20-some available mana.
That was limited.
Yeah, I know. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we do get to those parts of the game where you draw and you're like, I just don't need this land. And having that option on those is nice. But for me, playing 3 colors, that happens maybe 1 out of 6 decks is a 3 color. Most of the time it's 2 for
so
me.
You're not going to use it a ton. I think they're both.
They're going to find their place.
$3 to $5 cards in the end. Not special
just
or
regular
anything.
packs.
Yeah,
Not foils.
That's
or
where I
full
see
arts.
them.
Yeah.
Maybe even $2 after rotation. So that's kind of how I see them.
I think, on the other hand, though, the special full arts, foils, whatever the showcase ones, those have the potential to go way up, and we've talked about that before, so let's not get into that part. But yeah, I can see using them. I think I'd probably use the flip lands more because I play a lot more 2-color decks, and those will fit in perfect.
And I think they fit in there,
Yeah, perfect. All right, so why don't we get to our number 9? And I'm glad I'm not reading it because I don't know how to say that one. I just know how to say the second one.
I'm just going to say Draugr Necromancer.
Sure.
3 colorless in a swamp for a 4/4 zombie cleric.
Snow creature.
Relevant. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile that card with an ice counter on it instead. You may cast spells from among cards in exile your opponents own with ice counters on them. and you may spend mana of snow sources as though they were mana of any color to cast those spells.
That's pretty sweet because it just removes their creatures from the game.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah, so it's static exile removal from graveyards, like when those creatures die. And then
you can cast them.
Yeah.
As long as you're using snow mana, you can cast them for any, use any mana, or that can be any color. So this is pretty sweet for 4. 4. It's a zombie, goes in your zombie decks. Do you put this in black decks? Just in general?
Like mono black? No.
Well,
but if I'm running cards like a deck that steals stuff and I'm playing like I have the ability to get mana of any color rather than just the like needing to worry about the snow permanence.
I guess would you play this if you couldn't cast the creature spells? Probably not.
Probably not.
So this has to fit in, and that's the thing is most of our decks now, at least mine, my basics are the snow basics. We don't have a lot of negative stuff. We do have the one that's in this set that has them come into play tapped, I think, or whatever. So it just, there's such a high benefit to having snow if it fits in. So if you're playing this card, you're playing all your snow basics. Being able to cast that is such a huge benefit. I could see playing this. I'd play it more in if I was doing a lot of removal, I guess,
Sure. And I can see Zombie Tribal running this as well. I don't have a problem with that idea. But I think in just a generic like white black deck, like to me, it has to be fitting that theme. And so like I can see this going into number 2's Eureka deck, which is based off of stealing. Like a Send Triplets deck. Do you have any stealing decks? I don't.
No, not anymore.
Everybody just lost their stealing decks because it's all on webcam now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
those suck if you're taking. Oh, how do I represent that shit? Yeah. No. But I don't know. I don't think it necessarily has to fit in a theme. I think the fact that this is. No, it would have to fit in the theme for us. Yeah. I was like, yeah, that's part of it. It fits, but it's good in just in any black kind of deck, though.
Sure.
Because being able to
generic good.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why it hits the 9 spot. Should we move on to number 8?
Yeah, number 8, your babe.
So this one I fought tooth and nail for. No, I didn't. But Tybalt's Trickery. This is 1 red, 1 colorless for an instant, and counter target spell. Hey, red has counter, but it says choose 1, 2, or 3 at random. Its controller mills that many cards, then exiles the top cards of their library until they exile a non-land permanent, or not permanent, just non-land card with a different name than that spell. So what that's doing is making it so you can't hit that spell in Modern or any other format. Commander doesn't matter because you're countering that spell. It's gone. They may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then they may put the exiled cards on the bottom of their library in a random order. So I've kind of heard some people say that this might be the new, not new, but like similar to Chaos Warp, in that you're countering a spell instead. Chaos Warp is targeting something and hitting something potentially worse, but sometimes it can be better, right, Lowery? When you target something, when you do.
Yeah.
But the thing about Chaos Warp is you could do that to your own stuff. So if you could get rid of a token and do it to yourself. This, you play a crappy spell. If you have a manipulation of the top, you can kind of do some interesting things there. That's probably not most of the time you're going to use it. You're probably going to use it for the latter of it. The main idea is countering that spell in red that you probably won't see. I mean, I don't play counters, but my mono red decks might play this card, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I see, like setting it up for yourself is just so it's limited and a little bit far-fetched.
Yeah,
so like a scroll rack, yeah, that sounds good, but then you're going to be setting not your first card, because that's gone no matter what, and then your second, third, fourth card with cards that are solid, like that you want to be cheating in. Yeah. And then you're casting something, and then Tybalt's Trickery, and then cheating in something, but you're not quite sure. Like, I think that part seems pretty unrealistic. So I think this is a benefit. Like, you don't run this in a red-blue deck, in my opinion. You just run counterspells in a red-blue deck. Normal.
Yeah.
So this is going to be in something, and it's like last case, like last resort. I mean, it's easy to, like, what if it was red? I think it'd be a lot tougher to, like, cast and be happy with.
Mm-hmm.
So just the fact that it's a red counterspell, it's going to save your bacon.
Yeah. Hopefully. Unless Lowery's playing it, then he's going to counter something, then they go into Crater of Behemoth, and you're just like, fuck! Fuck you.
Yeah, just their big spells. But, I mean, there are some really big X spells, and then that could just kill it, too. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Or if you hit their ramp spell in this late game, like, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
The big thing here that when we were talking about it, like in comparison to Chaos Warp, it's like Chaos Warp is just highly likely to hit a land. Those are like the big percentages.
And that's why I didn't want to say that this was the new. I think it's kind of going hand. I think red is going to use this quite a bit if they don't have the blue aspect like you had mentioned.
Yeah. And so, or some way around it. So I think it's a really interesting card with it being red. And I think it's cool. And I think it's going to be played a lot. I just don't know how realistic it's going to be.
We have to see it in play and see how this goes. Because I think this is a card you get your opening hand and you're saving this for the game winner. Somebody's about to win the game and you're like, well, what are you going to hit instead? Because you're not getting that game winner. You're not getting that Cyclonic Rift. You're not, that's... I think this is going to be used quite a bit. I think it's going to be up there with Chaos Warp. I don't think it's going to be as high as many decks, but 5 years down the road, I think it's going to be one. Red decks have Chaos Warp, Blasphemous Act, and Tibalt's Trickery.
Wow.
Somewhere in there.
All
right. Number 7.
I'll believe you. That's what you're thinking.
Yeah. We will come back to this 5 years down in the road and be like, see? Adam was right.
You're always right.
Until Wizards keeps trying to fix things red and white, and they come up with some crazy shit for red that just takes over that. Anyways, why don't you get to number 7?
I'm trying.
You're trying. Okay.
There we go.
Keep stalling. You got to give me like a sign on the camera. Like, I don't have it yet.
My computer was freezing. Okay. Maskwood Nexus would be the next one. There's 4 colorless artifact, and then creatures you control are every creature type, same as true 4 creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. And then you can also...
We've seen that before.
Yeah, so that's a couple of cards.
Arcane Adaptation,
Conspiracy. Xenomorph, or there's a blue one for 5 mana too. Nobody plays that one. Who cares? And then you can pay 3, tap this, create a 2/2 blue shapeshifter. Interesting that they made it a blue. I don't think I caught that. Why is it blue?
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Why? It should just be colorless or 5 color.
Yeah.
It's an artifact.
So the interesting thing is the other, Arcane Adaptation is a 3-drop, which is nice, and it's blue. Conspiracy is a 5-drop, which is black. Does the same thing as the first part of the card, but it makes those creature tokens. Mm-hmm. So you can keep generating. If you're having things that have ETB effects or whatever, this continues to make it. So it's not just, all right, now you have... Because I use Arcane Adaptation and Conspiracy in my Eureka deck because I want to make everything ninjas, have that option to get that. Well, this is for sure going in there and potentially making more ninjas because it's, making changelings.
Yeah, I would say this, at the very least, replaces Conspiracy.
Yeah, it fits in more decks.
Yeah, with it being colorless, yeah, it goes in more decks. This is going to be nice because it helps those red, green, and white tribal decks that just don't have maybe enough support.
Yeah.
So like
the weird thing is it made Arcane Adaptation go up. It didn't touch Conspiracy because I think people are like, nope, that's too much mana. But it made Arcane Adaptation jump up to the foils jump up to 10.
Are they? Conspiracy was just printed in the mystery retail.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's a good reason why, I would guess.
Yeah. So yeah, solid card. All right, we move on to number 6. This one's pretty interesting. So it's Glorious Protector, 2 and 2 white, Angel Cleric. It's a 3/4 flying. It has flash. It also has Foretell, so you can tap 2 and put it down for Foretell, and then its Foretell cost is 2 and a white. But when it enters the battlefield, you may exile any number of non-angel creatures you control until Glorious Protector leaves the battlefield. So the thought in this one is like you do the Foretell cost and then you just wait for a board wipe and you protect all your non-angel creatures. Glorious Protector gets killed and then all your stuff comes back and you're the only one that has creatures out.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty straightforward. Is there any... Oh, you had mentioned some interesting things with this one.
Yeah, I mean, if you were supporting this, I think this could be a support piece in a Blink deck. So, like, somebody attacks you and they're like, oh, this is going to kill a bunch of creatures. You block, block, block. Cast Glorious Protector. That saves your creatures from dying anyway. So, similar to, one of those Wraths. And then if you want to blink it with, like, a Cloud Shift or just blink... it goes away. All your creatures come into play. You're playing into that with ETB creatures. Get a bunch of triggers. Probably Panharmonicons in play, and you're playing against me. And then the Glorious Protector comes back into play, removes all your creatures from the battlefield, and then you're kind of rolling from there. So
yeah, there's a lot of things. I didn't think about the attacking and just taking out the creatures that were going to die anyways and putting it under her. That's a good idea.
I think the big thing is the flash.
Yeah.
Because remember there was from the Ravnica block where it was just like exile whatever creatures you control that you want, and this creature gets +2/+2, and then when it leaves, those creatures come back. So similar effects, but it didn't have flash. It didn't have trample, and it wasn't a good card.
This is pretty decent.
This has a lot more potential.
Yep.
So,
dig it. All right, number 6, Lowery. stall. All right, I was getting my buttons ready.
All right,
do you want me to say
Realm
number
Walker?
6?
I got it. Realm Walker is 2 colorless green, 2/3 shapeshifter, has changeling. As Realm Walker enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. You may look at the top card of your library at any time, and you can cast creature spells of the chosen type from the top of your library.
Just sweet tribal for any kind of tribe.
Yep.
That's basically it. You put this in all your tribal decks, and it's allowing you... I love you may look at it, not revealing the top card.
Yeah.
I love Oracle Meldiah, and that's its only downfall, which, whatever, you take that downfall every day. But the fact that you're the only one that's looking at it, and then you can cast creature spells from the top of your library of that chosen type is pretty sweet.
Yeah, and I think there's Vizier of the Menagerie from Amonkhet block.
Menagerie?
Menagerie Trois.
Menagerie Trois. Oh, yeah, that's what we did. Menagerie Trois.
We used to be funny.
Yeah. Now we just reminisce about how funny we were, or how we thought we were funny. Menagerie Trois. All right. Yeah.
So, but similar effect, and that card's expensive and played a bunch, and this is going to be something fairly similar, just for tribal decks, but cheaper.
It's not just I like that it's any tribal deck. You could be playing, not just green splashed with other things, and that's your tribal. You pick merfolk, green blue, or zombies, green black, whatever. There's a lot of
zombies.
Well, I know,
what the fuck?
That'd be a weird color. Green, black, blue. How about that? I don't know why you'd have green in there for zombies. Shut up! I've been drinking.
No, you're doing great.
All right, but yeah, it's a solid card for 3 drop for that. Being able to cast more of that stuff. Good card. All right, number 5. This one's nice. I like this card a lot. Burning Ruin Demon. It is 4 and 2 black for a Demon Berserker. 6/6 flying for 6. That's not bad. But when it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for exactly 2 cards not named Burning Ruin Demon that have different names. If you do reveal those cards, an opponent chooses one of them, put the chosen card in your hand and the other in your graveyard, and then shuffle your library. So it's Ruin Scarred Demon, as you know, is 5 and 2 black. So it's 1 more. And then you get to go search for any card. It's a tutor. Put it into your hand, and then that's it. This one, you get to go search for 2 badass cards.
2?
And then they get to put one in your graveyard. If you're a recursion deck, if you're Lowery and you're really good at playing with recursion, you're planning for that. So they throw it in your graveyard, and you still get it back. There's a lot of good possibilities.
And so,
with
like, this could be fun in a Modrotha deck. Like, you go and find 2 value removal pieces. They got to pick, whatever one. You can even, here, this is one thing that I didn't think about because we don't talk politics on this show. People get upset.
We don't want to lose any listeners.
Yeah, you can.
There's only 5 of you. We don't want to lose any of you.
You're all special. But you can have this come into play, and you and one other player are working on trying to get rid of the problem card. Yeah. It's like, I got these 2.
That's a good point.
Let me have this removal. It's going to be used on that problem card, and then boom. Or we know that Cyclonic Rift is about to come from Adam because he's at 6 mana. He'll be at 7 next turn. Let me keep one of my counter spells.
Why am I included on this one? I don't like
know.
That.
It's hypothetical. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
Or, like, that's where, you just set it up where you're going and getting 2 pieces of removal. So you always have 1, or the counter spell, or reanimating target. So you get 2 fatties. 1 goes in the graveyard, 1 into your hand. So I think there's ways that you can use it.
If you don't use it, you lose it?
Yes. Because somebody's going to windfall on you, and then you're going to be fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Or like you said there too, is you just get 2 game winners. One's a really good game winner, and one's an okay game winner. So you go and get. Why does Craterhoof always just come to my head? But Craterhoof, or does it lead the Stampede and poison counter somebody to death? You choose. How do you want to die?
Yeah, or like helping out Kalia of the Vast players because they need help, but. Going and getting.
That's a good point, because it's a demon. Yeah.
Cheat this into play. Go get Avacyn to make all your stuff indestructible the next turn, or a card like a card that's going to reanimate Avacyn.
Yeah. So that's a good point. Yeah. So you're just bringing.
So
doesn't
either
matter which one you choose. You want it in my hand, or you want me to work and get it back. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's going to be super sweet. Thanks, Trombley.
Yeah. All right. Number 3.
Is this me again?
Yep.
Hey, it's working. Kind of. Hold on. Mystic Reflection. Colorless blue. Instant. It choose target non-legendary creature. The next time 1 or more creatures or planeswalker enter the battlefield this turn, they enter as copies of the chosen creature instead. You can foretell it, so pay 2 during your turn, and then during another turn you can pay a blue. And so this card's super good.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things. So one of the main things that you kind of mentioned on text was...
This is number 3, by the way. Yeah.
Yep. Did I say number 4?
I don't know.
I thought I said 3.
Again, okay. I'm not paying attention. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry.
So what was the one thing that you had mentioned when we were texting? It's a pretty good combo with this one.
Really any like permanent creature that comes into play and creates tokens.
Yeah.
And so
like Avenger.
Let's go Avenger of Zendikar. You have 7 land into play, or let's use 8. You had 8. So it comes into play, it triggers, it's going to make 8/0/1
plant tokens.
But then you also cast Mystic Reflection, and those plant tokens will turn into Avenger of Zendikars. And so all of those Avengers create 8 plant tokens after that. So
no, it doesn't go continuous because it says the next time 1 or more creatures enters the battlefield. And so it would just change those 8 into 8 more, but then they would all create.
Yeah, and it's something like 7001 plants. And if you play a land, they all get +9/+9 token, counters on them.
Yeah.
So it's just like, whoa.
Yeah. So but I think the part that I really liked about this card was being able to put this early, pay your 2, exile it, you have your foretell for 1 blue, and just being able to screw somebody's game win up, because think of somebody going, all right, I'm about to win the game, Craterhoof Behemoth. They bring it out, and you're like, well, actually, I'm playing Mystic Reflection, and it's going to be a copy of my, I don't know, what do I want to say, Llanowar Elves.
Yeah.
So it just changes into that. You can fuck with people's board a little bit. So there's a lot
it
of...
It applies to Planeswalkers, too.
Yes.
So if somebody's about to drop an Ugin or a Karn on you, and you're like, turn it into whatever. Let's not do this.
There's a lot of stuff that you can do with this card. So Lowery kind of talked me into this one, and as we talked through it more, I was like, yep, this one's pretty damn solid because there's a lot of trickery that can be done. I like this foretell ability. Yep. I think it's kind of cool, especially since they can't see it coming. Because I think when I first saw foretell, I assumed that they could see the exiled cards, because that's a lot of times when stuff is exiled, you can see it. But in this case, it's like morphine, right? That's what we kind of talked about, where you can't see the cards. So that just stashing it away for another turn and waiting, this could save your ass, is what this card is. This is a save your ass card.
This can go on Isakron's Scepter, which would be just totally mess with the game and just be like, hey, do you want that to be bigger? Do you want that to be smaller?
I want mine to always be bigger, Lowery. Can you make it? Can you make my wish come true, Lowery?
I'm going to be honest. I know what you're working with, and I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Right. So I got our opener, 5305.
So I think this card's really, really interesting, and
yeah, that's why it hits the 3 spot.
Yeah.
Good spot.
It might just be our personal preference, but I think it's a really, really interesting card.
All right, number 2 is Rise of the Dreadmarn.
Hey, number 2.
Oh God, you were on top of it, Lowery.
Yep,
that's what she said. Maybe no, you're lacking sleep. Yeah. She didn't say that. Yeah. All right, so Rise of the Dreadmarn, instant, 2 and a black. Create X 2/2 black zombie berserker creature tokens, where X is the number of non-token creatures that died this turn. It also has foretell, so you can pay 2, just like our last card. 2 and 1 black, and it's at instant speed. So this isn't just your creatures dying; it's everybody's creatures. So you play this early on in the game, even if you just cast it for its 3. That's not that bad of a casting cost to get a bunch of 2/2s, and they don't come into play tapped. I don't think that matters too much because somebody's doing a board wipe or
you're
whatever.
Doing it on somebody else's turn more than likely.
You're most likely. But if that person is benefiting from the board wipe, somehow they're keeping their stuff, at least yours don't come in tapped. You have X amount of 2/2s that can actually block if they were coming through. But this could be a game winner. It depends on your meta as well, but most of the time you do see a lot of board wipes in Commander, and this could really, just think, you have 4 players out there, you have like 5-6 creatures out. You could put this foretell thing early on in the game, so this is way late in the game, and they go, all right, board wipe, you lose 5, player next to you loses 3, whatever, 5. So you could have like 15 2/2s sitting out there.
But like, just realistically, like, if you have 5 2/2s and it goes to your turn and nobody has any board state, that's 10 damage.
Yeah.
And that's like, that feels like worst case scenario after a Wrath. Like, worst case scenario is like what we had during our league game where just nobody had any creatures for a couple turns.
Right.
And then it's a dead card in your hand, but...
Well, really quick, the... What's the card from Commander Legends that I kind of dig it? I was thinking about speccing on it. Is the one where it's everybody sacrifices, was it up to 6 creatures or
No,
something?
yeah, it sacrifices 6 creatures, and then you put 6 2/2s in play.
2 2s. Like, I thought that was really good. This is so much better.
Well,
Like,
I mean, the difference is that one
sacrifices.
has it
that
on
one,
top.
Yeah, that one destroys stuff
Yeah.
with it. Yeah.
So, but together, because that's 7, then do this. That's getting pretty good.
Yeah. So this could be the reason why it hit the 2 spot is it could turn a game to make it the game winner for you. And you foretell it for 1. You put this out early and it's just sitting there just waiting for those board wipes. You just play stuff, or maybe you're the one that's board wiping. You know,
It's
you're
only
waiting till
1
everybody...
black at the foretell.
Yeah. So it's instant. If it was a sorcery, then that would suck.
Yes.
But the fact that it's instant is why this card makes the 2 spot. Let's get... Oh, I had it all queued up. All right, here we go. You ready? Number 1, Lowery. Here we go.
Goldspan Dragon. 3 colorless red. It's a dragon. It has flying and haste. It's a 4/4. Whenever Goldspan Dragon attacks, when it attacks too.
You didn't.
We've read this so many times. All right.
You learn something new each time.
Yeah. Whenever Goldspan Dragon attacks or becomes the target of a spell, create a treasure token. After you brought it up, I thought it was just the targeting.
The target of the spell.
So, if it attacks or is targeted, create a treasure. And treasures you control, sacrifice, add 2 mana. So it doubles your treasure token production. That
is insane.
Sweet.
Yeah. 5 drop for a 4/4 that you're going to get a treasure token right away.
Because you attack.
You can target this as well. So you could do like your feather deck. This could fit maybe in your feather deck. I don't know if you would put it in there. But you're targeting it, getting tokens that give you 2 mana for it, and you just keep doing shit.
I have like 3 or 4 decks that this would fucking rock in.
Well, Magda, this is definitely going in my Magda deck because I haven't made it yet. That's the one I'm going to be building, but it works perfect Magda because you can sacrifice 5 treasure tokens, get gold span. It comes into play. You attack, you get a treasure token. Those now tap for 2, sacrifice them for 2. This thing is ridiculous for treasure. It's just
this
awesome.
works in my Gadrek deck because that creates a ton of treasure tokens. This works with my Kethis deck, the assassin. Is it Kethis? I keep on forgetting.
the assassin.
Assassin. Assassin.
Yeah, this is gonna be in a lot of red decks. I mean, think of this with what you were just talking about with the what's his nuts? Dockside Extortionist.
Ass.
You play Dockside Extortionist, get all those treasure tokens, and they're doubled up. Like that's
I'm pretty sure this is why Dockside
has
gone up, is because of the combination with Goldspan Dragon.
Yeah, these are going to be going hand in hand. Excited to hopefully. Well, I'll get this card at some point. If I don't get it in packs, I'm buying this.
Yeah, this is definitely one where it's just like I need to buy this pretty damn quick after release.
Yep, for sure.
I don't. It's sitting at 13.
I have it 15 right now for just regular pack.
Yeah,
I would like to get extended art, but
yeah, the extended art looks like it's potentially like 23, 24.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is something that I'm interested in getting somewhere in between $10 and $15 just to get in the.
Just have it in your toolbox so that when the price goes up to Dockside Extortionist prices, you at least have one. Yep. All right. So that is our top 10. Look at this. We are at an hour here, Lowery. We're doing pretty good. Should we get? I know. Should we get into our?
In the common tongue, it says one
spec
to rule them all. One
spec
to fight them. One
spec
to bring them all. And in the darkness, find them.
I figured since we didn't go 2 hours long that we could go a little.
We could go with the longer bit. Love it.
All right, so if you don't know what this bit is, we pick one spec from a certain set, and basically it's what you can put all the marbles in on, and basically that is the card that will go up in price. We are keeping track of that, by the way. If you are a patron, And in the Discord, you can see the picks that we've had. Otherwise, you can just go back and listen to all the casts that we've talked about it. Fast forward to the very end, because that's where we always do it, and that's where you can find it. Also, Lowery, I think we put it in the notes, don't we? Yes, we do.
Yes,
check
we
out
do.
the notes on our podcast. All right, so this week we are doing Commander 2019. Before we get started, I noticed a lot of the cards, and I didn't check yours out, but a lot of the cards had some big buy walls with some of these people. There's one store in particular on TCG that has hundreds of copies.
Hundreds?
Hundreds. Not a lot of people are going to get that.
That was pretty inside. All right.
Inside jokes. But yeah, hundreds of copies where the price isn't going to move for a little bit. But both of the cards that we picked, I feel like are pretty good specs. That's not in the near future, but at some point down the road could get up there. So, Larry, why don't you start us off with your card?
So I am choosing Idol of Oblivion. This is a 2 colorless artifact that you can tap it for whenever a token comes into play, and then you get to draw a card, and then you can pay 8 and then tap it, sack it, and then put a 8/8 into play, a big token. Right now it's in 5,572 decks on EDH Rec. It is $2.79 on Card Kingdom or $1.53 on TCG Player, average wise. And I think this just goes in every token deck. If you are consistently making tokens, this is how you draw cards. It's super cheap.
For sure. Yeah.
It's, it's 2 mana to be consistently drawing a card. If you can untap it with like Voltaic Key or Manifold Key or Unwinding Clock, and then you're just drawing more cards off of it. And then late game, when you need a beater, you can just make a huge 8/8 or 10/10.
I don't think
or whatever.
that's going to happen.
It's not.
very
That's
often,
It's more just like draw more cards.
Right.
You know?
Most decks make tokens, including treasure tokens, like we were talking about. It doesn't matter the type. It doesn't need to be a creature token. It's just a token. So you make tons of tokens. Remember I was telling you about the buy wall on Idol of Oblivion? The buy wall is the same company. It's the gaming company has 478 copies for sale.
Nice job. What are they at?
$1.50. And that's the same one that's for all of the specs that we
So
were
they
kind of
just
talking
cracked
about.
like 400 or 500 boxes.
Yeah,
Jesus.
insane.
Of each one.
Of each one, yes, that's the part that's insane.
They
So
went
every
deep,
single one of
and they're not waiting.
So with these, you have time on these, but definitely pick them up at those cheap prices. I mean, once it starts going up, they'll start raising their prices. But
I mean,
that
just
478 is the third cheapest.
It's in a
So-
Layla. It can go in Kaikar. Those are 2 that I've made in the last year and a half that are just like perfect fits for it. You know.
Oh, for sure. I might even put this with my. Well, I definitely will. This will go in the Magda deck.
Yep. Yeah.
Because you're making treasure tokens, and then I get to draw a card, tapping and drawing a card. That's
Again, it's
pretty
just
fucking
super like CMC is super cheap to be drawing cards like that.
Yeah. Yep.
So
That's awesome. I am glad that you mentioned that one because that is going in the deck. All right. My one spec. I don't even want to say his name.
Kirk.
That's why I was Kirk. Captain Kirk, son of Yawgmoth. This is 4 and then the 3 black Phyrexian mana, which is you can either pay 3 black or for each one of those you can pay 2 life for whatever to take off the cost of that. It's a legendary creature, horror minion, 2/2, has lifelink, but it says for each black in its cost, you may pay 2 life rather than pay its mana cost. So you can do the Phyrexian mana for your other spells. And then it says whenever you cast a black spell, you put a 1/1 counter on it. So you can there's some broken-ish things you can do with this, being able to cast things for free. He's gaining counters because if it's a black spell, he gets bigger. You hit somebody, you gain that life back. I think this has potential to go pretty crazy.
It's super good.
What did I have for decks? It is surprisingly in 2,400 EDH rec decks as a commander, and then 5,000 decks by itself. So you're looking at 7,500 almost decks.
Yeah.
And this came out 2 years ago or whatever. But for a commander itself, 2,400, this is pretty sweet. Again, there's that buy wall that I was talking about where it's 400 plus copies.
What is it going for right now?
Oh yeah, sorry. Price is at $5
Okay.
right now. I think this, once you get past that buy wall, so I'm thinking it's a couple years down the road, but it could get up to 15 to 20. What did we think with yours? We didn't go. Yours was, you were at,
Well, I'd say
you
5.
could probably hit 5 to 10.
Easy
Yeah.
5. Little further 10.
Down the road, as long as they don't reprint it.
Yeah. I for me, if it hits like 5 to 6, I can get that, I'm unloading it.
For sure. Yeah. So with Kirk, I would say 15, but I would think that's going to be a little bit down the road. So once you get over 10, start maybe looking at dumping some of these. But those buy walls, man, this is the first time we've come across.
Well, they're just so
that
many.
Yeah. I think these are good specs. This is what's different than, which one was it? Ravnica Allegiance?
Yeah.
Where we were just like garbage cards, really. We just only picked the 2 cards that we...
Not very
were
good.
the only 2 good cards. With these, there was a couple more. Still not a ton in 2019, Commander 2019. But those buy walls, man, that just... Ugh. Store sucks. But this card has potential for going crazy with black decks, combo stuff. That's why I think this is going to be...
They spent like $5,000 on those decks. They
That's
have
insane.
like 400 to 500 paywall on
They're just
all of
trying
them.
to dump them.
I think they probably just tried to buy them as cheap as they could for the dockside.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did they get it for the dockside? Is that's why they're up there? You know, now I'm curious. I'm gonna pull up and see if they can't have dockside on there. There's no way. Wouldn't it be funny if they did though? If they had it for that price, they had to have dumped it earlier when it was a lot cheaper. Yeah, they don't have dockside up there.
They just got bought out at $20 and they're like, fuck.
Fuck! Why didn't we hold on to more of these? Maybe 400 of them could have waited. Yeah. All right, so I think that's about it, right, buddy? I don't think we have...
I think that's good. Look at that,
All right.
us being responsible.
Look at that, just over an hour. We're good there.
Yeah.
All right, well, that should do it for this week. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Take care.